Ready, set, let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I've been on the way up cause I know I'm popping. Hits, no misses. Clean up like the dishes. Ain't no point telling me to stop cause I won't listen. Every level got a new devil. I'ma give him hell cause I don't know better. I'm a born winner. I'm going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to make me ever give up. Let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm getting close. I can taste it. I'm going up like a spaceship. I'm shaking the ground. I'm making it loud. I go to work when nobody's around. It's time to get it. It's time to go. It's time to shine. It's my time to blow.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wonder why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
Ready, set, let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I've been on the way up cause I know I'm popping. Hits, no misses. Clean up like the dishes. Ain't no point telling me to stop cause I won't listen. Every level got a new devil. I'ma give him hell cause I don't know better. I'm a born winner. I'm going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to make me ever give up. Let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. It's time to get it. It's time to go. It's time to shine. It's my time to blow.
Fellas, go have a good day today. Like I said, load all the fans, and thank you guys for coming out here. We got a great crowd today. Everybody listening at home.
If you push, I'm defiant.
Everybody enjoy
Just
the
try it. It is bound to get violent when you walk this way.
Do it. All four tires face the same direction at the end of this thing. Ready? Green, 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 green. Good, baby. Put the pressure on that little. You know what? You get him. Crash behind you. Just past halfway, bud. Just past halfway. A lot of racing to go. Take care of your stuff. That car up there is your next spot. Hit him. Yeah, man, let him come to you. Don't push him. White flag, nice and smooth. Checker flag.
Welcome back to the Slingshot Racing League. Tonight, our drivers are taking on the Brickyard for the Brickyard 150, presented by Evan Pienta Designs in the Stand Up Fight Series Invitational Cup. So glad to have y'all with us. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up here in the booth tonight by our producer, Kobe Jordan, and Sal Nicosia. I'm color commentator for tonight. Sal, Indy is a famous track. It's got a lot of history. Tell us a little bit about it.
Indy's one of those places that is truly a crown jewel of the NASCAR world. I mean, going back, this track laid down in the early 1900s. I mean, I think even recently they just peeled up some of that original brick, built over top of a brickyard, and with a brick start-finish line. This place has all kinds of history, all kinds of character, and is also home to the always famous Indianapolis 500. So a lot of history here, and we'll make some history here tonight with these guys out here in the Stand Up Fight Series.
Yeah, we've got 60 laps coming up tonight here at Indianapolis, and we've got some great races coming up even after this one. We just got done running last week at Charlotte, another very historic NASCAR track. Before next week, we'll head into Road America for our one of two road course races that we have on the calendar this season. The other one, Watkins Glen, a bit more of a traditional road course here. Road America will be something different for these drivers. Then we have an off week followed by throwback weekend at Darlington, Talladega, and North Wilkesboro. We'll finish off the season with a crown jewel money race going on for 167 laps at North Wilkesboro. Got a lot of great races to look forward to here as we close out the season in the Stand Up Fight Series. I think it's going to be a pretty good one tonight. Are there any stories that you're kind of watching out for, Sal?
I mean, I'm just always interested in the Smiths. Aaron and Chris always put on a good show here, and Aaron winning last week. We've had a lot of that yellow banana car up at the front, and I'm interested to see, as we've kept an eye on practice times and some qualifying times, what a handful of these top performing drivers can do here and how it's going to factor into the points as they continue on.
Yeah, we got a couple kind of stories to watch here as well tonight. The Aero is going to play a really big role in this race at the Brickyard. Always does at Indy. It's a bit different in these Cup cars to how it works in the Indy cars. You aren't as affected quite as much by the Aero of the car in front of you, but it definitely still plays a factor. You can really chew up tires easily here at the Brickyard. It's a very unique track. I mean, we don't race any others with 4 distinct corners like this, so these drivers are going to have to get used to that. Long run speed could be a factor as well here. If we have a green flag race tonight, like we do often in the Stand Up Fight series, you can see that long run speed and that tire saving really come into play. And while Indy is one of the easier pit roads to get on, it's a little bit more difficult to get off here. Very narrow pit road, really easy to slide off into the grass on exit. So you've got to be careful and make sure that you've got enough and that you aren't going into the grass here and getting a penalty.
Yeah, that's the last thing you need because it's hard enough getting around here as it is. Those corners look the same from this shot here, blimp high in the sky, but for these drivers in these cars behind the wheel, every corner feels just a little bit different and takes a little bit of a different approach as you're going through the course of your race. So a lot of factors playing into what we'll see out here on track tonight.
Quick check on the points after our last race last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Aaron Smith has won 2 of our 4 races this season, and he sits in pole position here in the point standings. 23 back is Devin Jack in the 49, with Justin Wilson sitting 3rd, 1 point ahead of Chris Smith in 4th. 5th right now is Patrick Colby. 6th is Matt Kuntz, 2 drivers who had great performances last week and have moved themselves up the standings. Scotty Sobczak was running really well. He has a win this season. He came into last week in the top 3, but a bad finish for him after ending up out of the race on lap 1 sets him all the way back to P7 in the points. Samuel Stoner sits P8, Braxton DeWeese 9th, Rye Jones 10th, Peter Stewart up to 11th after a good race last week, Johnny Rapp 12th, Josh Ward 13th, and Laura Wiseman sits 14th as we enter our race here tonight at Indy. And looking at the practice results, some of those drivers who you would expect to do well here given their performance over the last few races are up here towards the front. Our fastest car in practice was the 70 of Aaron Smith, followed by the 28 of Chris Smith. Scotty Sobczak also up there as well, as he will look to bounce back after that horrible accident last week that saw him out of the race right at the start. And he'll look to try and claw his way back up the points positions. He has 2 top 5s this year, 1 5th place at Atlanta and 1 win at Bristol. So we know he's a driver who we might have to watch out for here, and a driver who can get himself back onto the right track.
Yeah, he's absolutely someone any given week that can find himself in victory lane and, you know, making good lap times as we see the practice board continue to light up here with drivers who are getting out there and getting around. But going to be an interesting one. A lot of points, I think, going to play into tonight's race. Every point matters as we watch that board shift week over week. So Scotty has a great chance here to take another piece of the pie and continue his march toward the top of the board.
Yeah, we're going to send it down to the national anthem here, and when we come back, we will have the grid and the start of the race. Stay tuned. We are back here for the Brickyard 150 presented by Evan Pienta Designs in the Stand Up Fight Series Invitational League. And we're getting ready to take the grid here in just a second. Qualifying has wrapped up, and these drivers are getting out onto the grid now for 60 laps around Indy. Your Evan Pienta Designs Pole Award winner tonight going to be the 28 car of Chris Smith. He will line up next to the 70 of Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith, your points leader. Chris Smith currently sits P4. Braxton DeWeese will go from P3 tonight. Justin Wilson, P4, with Scotty Sobzak, P5, and Josh Ward in 6th. Chris Pierce will go from 7th in the 25, Evan Pienta 8th in the 55, and rounding out your top 10 will be Rye Jones in the 91 and Patrick Colby in the 97.
Yeah, firing off at 11th is the 52 of Johnny Rapp, and 12th it's the 00 of Nick DeCasser. The 13th spot, it's the 13 of Matt Kuntz. In 14th, it's the 49 of Devin Jack. Second in the points. See what he can do here tonight. In 15th, it's the 5 of Robert Brobst. In 16th, it's the 88 of James Danforth. Behind him, wrapping out the top 20, it's the 32 of Sean Johnson, the 56 of Jacob Phillips, the 19 of Brian Brobst, and the 65 of Samuel Stoner.
Back from there, Derek Fike rolls off 21st in the 67. Steve Vest in the 60 is going to roll off 22nd. Jay Heishman, 23rd. By the way, Jay Heishman, the driver with the least incident points this season, going from P23. Ryan Hinkle, 24th. Jay Leach, 25th. Zachary Mitchell, 26th. Paul Thomas, 27th. Sal, who's going to be your pick to win tonight?
Well, you never count out the guys at the front, and Chris and Aaron Smith are two drivers that consistently run well here, but I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna do something different. I think Braxton DeWeese is finally gonna break through after a couple of weeks of really strong races. I think he's figured out maybe how to save the tire a little better over the last run of runs. I like him tonight here at Indy.
Braxton DeWeese is always a threat to win. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight. This is Chris Smith in the 28's first pole award of the season. So he will get to go from P1 here for the first time in the Stand Up Fight Series. Aaron Smith, who has 2 but was denied 1 tonight, will go from the outside. Pace car is going to take us through turns 3 and 4 here, and when we exit turn 4, you'll see it dive down into the pits, and we'll be ready to go for 60 laps around the Brickyard in the Brickyard 150, presented by Evan Pienta Designs. A lot of drivers who can make some moves here. Indy, always a track with the potential for chaos, the potential for upset winners, the potential for a fuel mileage race. We'll see if we get any of those here tonight. Chris Smith and Aaron Smith are on the front row, and as they make their way into the start zone, we're green at the Brickyard.
It'll be interesting to see this week. Can we survive the first set of turns here? That's where we ran into trouble early on last time around, and looks like everybody kind of jumping down to that bottom line there. Not a ton of side-by-side racing happening toward the front as they get themselves all figured out. Aaron Smith jumped out to the lead on the outside line ahead of pole sitter Chris Smith. You see a little bit of movement there from Justin Wilson as well, looking to get around Braxton DeWeese there on the inside. Aaron Smith way down on the white line there trying to block as they are getting ready to launch into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Aaron Smith doing what he does, pulling away just a little bit from Chris as they continue here to come back to the start-finish line out of turn 4 to get the first lap of 60 here at Indy logged here tonight. Most of the field stretching themselves out here, running one by one. You see a couple of outliers there tagging along on the bottom line. That's the 52 of Johnny Rapp, the first one. Trying to make a move here on Chris Pierce. Closest battle thus far. That's the battle for 10th position. For 9th position, excuse me. But everybody going to get a chance to feel out their cars, feel out the tire wear here, and interesting to see how tire strategy and tire wear, how conscious are you of the tire wear as you're turning your early laps and understanding, maybe I should Maybe I should burp the throttle here instead of going flat out off the corner to save myself a little bit of headache later on in the run, get a couple of spots back. That's what we talked about early. Keys to the race, long run racing here is going to be one of them.
Yeah, tires are always important here, even in the early parts of the run, because what you do now can set you up for either success or failure towards the back half of the run. Chris Smith got the pole, but it did not last very long. Aaron Smith ended up leading lap 1. And he is trying to dominate again here in that yellow number 70 car as Chris Smith tries to pull back up and stop that from happening. We're on board here with Robert Probst in the 5. That was a close moment there with Nick Dicer in the 00, one spot in front of him, but both of those cars avoid contact. And now Probst will work to the outside here, trying to get something done on that higher line. He's got the run out of the corner. The 5 is up to P12. And we're side by side a little further up the field here too, as Rye Jones is to the inside of Evan Pienta, this one for P7.
Yeah, it's going to be all about where you're willing to stick your nose. Probst there, saw his opportunity to get around the 00. Didn't exactly give him a ton of room to do anything but give him that top line, and was able to get the run, get the spot. We'll see that all night long here as we're keeping an eye on Evan Pienta, that 55 car. Purple, something about purple and yellow always looks good on the racetrack, but looks even better here, running out in front of Rye Jones, who's always fast. He's going to want to keep him in his mirror. But battles popping up here and there. You'll see drivers as the run continues on, I think, start to get a little more impatient. Got Johnny Rapp running side by side again. That's with Chris Pierce. Dangerous. Gets slippery when you're side by side trying to make it happen. See the stats there on the bottom of your screen. These guys running a very mirrored set of corners here.
Ooh, Rapp's getting loose. Rapp's loose. Oh, good save for that 52 car. Near contact. Chris Pierce squeezed him all the way down to the white line there. Johnny Rapp barely made it out of that one. Now he's under threat from Patrick Colby in the 87. He's going to try to steal a spot in the top 10.
Yeah, he was dirt tracking there for a minute, but great to gather it up and try to recover here and not lose that next spot to Patrick Colby. Colby going to have an opportunity on the outside to do to Johnny Rapp what Chris Pierce just did to him, squeeze him down a little bit if he can keep this battle side by side as they come off the corner of 4. Looks like Rapp will get that little bit of an edge there on that run, and I'm sure he's happy to take a deep breath here after being under attack, but it's going to be interesting to see how long Robert Probst's going to sit back there and wait and make things happen, but still a couple of car lengths between he and Probst.
Colby struggled a little bit on that high line, and I think he just dinked it off the wall there coming out of turn 1. So the 87 of Patrick Colby not driving the best to open up this race. He's going to need to maybe cool those tires down here to lock back in and get that car closer up to the 52 of Johnny Rapp. We'll see what he can do here over the next few corners as Robert Probst in the 5 continues to try to find his way into this battle from behind. Probst from 15 to 12 has made up 3 spots in the early stages of this race. Looking for a little bit more here as he runs just under that white line, trying to make something happen. Biggest movers so far, the 65 of Samuel Stoner has gone from 20th to P16. Not a lot of passing through the field here early in the race, but we've seen quite a few cars trade some positions. Most notably the 2 up front with Aaron Smith taking the lead away from Chris Smith on lap 1 and getting away. Right now, this is going to be Josh Ward trying to get around Scotty Sobczak in the 81. A little close there through the corner, but Ward backed it out. No contact. This battle's still working there down the back straightaway. As they're side-by-side behind him here with Rye Jones, Evan Pienta will let him through for P7.
Yeah, a couple of tight situations there. I mean, again, it gets really slippery as you're trying to push the car through the corner. You see guys making contact with the wall just a little bit. That's just a result of these tires getting really hot and starting to wear down just a little bit. It just goes to show how hard you're really pushing through the center of the 2 corners. Unique at Indy where it's not totally banked through the middle, right? It's very much so turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 versus, some of the other ovals that we travel to where it feels like one swooping corner as you head down into turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4. Here they all feel a little bit different. And I think that just adds just to the character of this place and to the skills that these drivers are going to have to put on display here tonight as they try to make it happen.
Still single file all around the track. Closest battle is still that one going on for P11, where Robert Brobst is trying to find his way closer to the 87 of Patrick Colby for that spot. He's got the 49 of Devin Jack, one slot behind him as well. Devin Jack currently second in points, but had a bad qualifying effort here tonight, only rolled off P14. He's got that car back up in P13. He's trying to drive it through the field early on in this race. That 49 car, who we expect to see running up front week in, week out, is having some problems, although 5 car just got big loose out of the corner, and Devin Jack is there for P12. See if he can get that move done as Robert Brobst almost loses it coming out of that corner. And Devin Jack is going to have the run to the outside, and he will be clear by the time we head down into turn 3.
Yeah, Robert Brobst was all over it there for a second. That thing was a handful as he and Jack were battling there. That was a tight one. Robert Brobst always never one to shy away from the opportunity to make a move when he sees a window open, even if it's a sliver of light. He's always looking to, get himself up the track, get himself into a better position to make a run, to have a run, to create an opportunity. So it'll be interesting to see how aggressive he chooses to be as they continue on here, as things get a little more slippery. It is lap 10, so early enough that 10 laps here, 10 laps at most tracks, you think, oh, tires already at 10 laps. This place is so big, and these cars have so much horsepower, and there's such a different, it's so different from other tracks. It's understandable that these guys are starting to get a little slippery, a little greasy out there on the track now with the stage in which we are heading through this one.
Chris Smith in the 28 getting a little bit closer here to that 70 car of Aaron Smith, who continues to lead this race. 200 miles an hour down into turn 1, but it's not enough to get him away from the hard-charging 28 car and the 58 of Justin Wilson, who's climbed himself up into 3rd right at the start of the race and is trying to bring himself a little closer to this fight as well. You can see as they dip through turn 2, these cars are just barely off the grass. They're using every single bit of paved surface that they can here to try and make up some lap time on Aaron Smith. Look at how low that 28 is on the racetrack. He's basically on the apron down there trying to make time up. Big moves here early on in this race as these cars try to get a little bit closer together. A couple clouds settling over the racetrack down there in 3 and 4. That could lower the track temp a little bit. Currently sitting at 83 degrees. Not particularly high, which is going to help our tire wear tonight.
Yeah, any little bit of shade, any little bit of temperature decrease on the track that these drivers can feel, they're going to be thankful for. Try to keep those tires just a little bit cooler, the track temp a little bit lower. It'll set up and it'll give us some even greater racing than we already got. That 58, though, of Justin Wilson, how well was he saving his tires? Because he sure looks like he's got a full head of steam here as he's chasing down Chris Smith. And as you noted, watch these guys. You watch Aaron Smith right here, absolutely just diving down, almost painting the grass. And then to go from being so low to almost scraping the wall up high as you're going through the center of the corner there, it takes a ton of focus and concentration to be able to do that lap over lap over lap here at Indianapolis. So kudos to these guys and girls as they're getting their earning their place here tonight in the Stand Up Fight Series.
Still single file all throughout the track. Not a lot of moves being done here over the last few laps. One thing that's really surprising me early on in this race is that Devin Jack just does not have the speed that we've come to see out of the 49 car these first few races this season. He was 14th at Atlanta, his worst result. But other than that, he finished P2 at Daytona, P4 at Bristol, P6 at Charlotte. This was his worst qualifying result of the season, 14th tonight at Indy. He's only gotten that car up to P12. He is struggling out here tonight and needs a little more speed in that 49 car if he's to try to fight here for the end of the race. Battle brewing for P4. It's a bad lap last time around for Braxton DeWeese in the 8, and now Scotty Sobczak is going to be able to dive it up the inside here into turn 1. The 81 will take P4 away. And with Deweese continuing to struggle, Josh Ward in the 92 is climbing himself up into this fight as well. That 92 car was almost a second faster than Deweese last time around.
Yeah, you see just how unforgiving this place is. One little slip up loses you so much. But even on these longer runs, you're doing all the things right. It's more difficult to gain net positive here as you're trying to get back through the field or make up spots like what Braxton Deweese is going to want to do if he can get himself close to Scotty Sopchak and get that spot back at some point in the run. But just so unforgiving here, and it goes to show that you have drivers who have driven really well throughout the year here, or throughout the year at other locations, coming to Indy, and sometimes the results are not transferable to a place like this. Just really a unique place, and not somewhere I'd want to have to turn 60 laps if I was in the car here tonight.
Nope, it can certainly be difficult here behind the wheel, especially once these tires kind of inevitably start to fade for these drivers. It'll just get more and more difficult behind the wheel of these things to keep them straight. You only got 3 sets of tires here. 1 starts on the car, 2 are back in the pits. If we have a long green flag run like this, I don't anticipate all of those tire sets being used right away. So having these longer green flag runs could be good for keeping those tires saved until the end of the race when these drivers might need them most, especially if we get a late caution here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you talk about tire saving, you figure about halfway, you might see folks start to think about it. But I think you're absolutely on point where save it as much as you can until the very end, if in the case of a late race caution, and be able to have the opportunity to get that position late, as we see Braxton Deweese and Josh Ward. Josh Ward now making a move to the inside there, had a little bit of it going through the corner. Is going to have a lot more on Braxton Deweese here. Oh, as he pulls up in front of him, gets the spot. That's Josh Ward now running in the 5th position. Rye Jones making a run here to the back end of Braxton Deweese. Deweese totally out of it here, going the wrong direction. Rye Jones going to have to fight for it still, but very loose there, the 8 of Braxton Deweese. He's going to be losing time as he slips and slides on the exit to some of these corners, but the car maybe not doing what he wants. Certainly not behaving for him the way we've seen him have success at other places this year in this league. So battles to keep an eye on as Deweese and Rye Jones now look like they're going to end up getting into it a little bit here with lap 17 in the books.
Yeah, Deweese has really been struggling. He's dropped from P3 back to P6, and I think a lot of that is he burned up his tires quite early on and has really struggled with those since. Rye Jones has been a little bit better on his tires, and Evan Pienza sitting back there in 8th in that 55 car has been the best out of all these drivers kind of in this little pack right here. So I would not be surprised if Braxton Deweese continues to move backwards here over the next few laps as he tries to get this car back under him and cool these tires down so he can mount a charge back up towards the leaders, or at least minimize his position loss. Better lap that last time around. He ran better than Rye Jones, but he was still slower than all 5 cars in front of him.
Yeah, that's why it's so difficult. Easy to lose a lot, hard to gain a lot at Indy. A lot of it comes down to qualifying and understanding how to best manage your tire. And as we watch Braxton Deweese, we talk about the situation he's in. It's all of those things on display. So going to be one he's going to have to try and rally from here and really play some defense. If you can play defense to the best of your ability against guys running faster lap times than you, it's going to have to happen right now for Braxton Deweese as he continues to make this run.
This is still the closest battle on the racetrack right now, is Rye Jones in the 91, Braxton Deweese in the 8, but the 28 of Chris Smith is not too far back from Aaron Smith as he's been all night. He hasn't really been able to get the run he would need to pass that 70 car, but he's been steady, about 0.3 of a second back, giving him something to think about all night long. Last time around, these 2 cars ran identical laps, both putting in a 52.806. So the 28 is really following right in the 70's footsteps, biding his time here until he can get the jump and make the move. as Robert Brobst is starting to slide back through the field. This is Nick Dicer to his outside, trying to get the move done in the 00 car. He's got Matt Kuntz not too far behind him in the 13. That's another one of our drivers who's high up in points. Ooh, Dicer is loose. And that is going to give Robert Brobst P13 back. He'll hold that spot for now.
Yeah, not a position that Robert Brobst was interested in giving up there, as Dicer was trying to make a move to the outside. Not quite what he needed, but Brobst now. Ooh, he's fishtailing a little bit there too. So you see just how hard these drivers are pushing it. That's going to give Dicer a second here to catch up a little bit and make a little bit of ground here. But you see how hard these drivers are pushing it, even at the stage of the race now, lap 20 in the books, and quarter of this race gone by. So if you were out here learning and running and trying to get a feel for the car, that phase is coming to an end. Now you want to really settle in, manage what you've got, and start to think about what your pit strategy is as we continue on here tonight at Indianapolis.
I wonder if Brobst is kind of slowing these cars up aerodynamically a little bit, because he is way back of Devin Jack in P12. It's a 2.7 second gap here from Brobst up to the 49 in front of him. Meanwhile, Robert Brobst is about 3 cars running down his bumper here from Nick Dicer in 14th back to Samuel Stoner there in 16th. So as these cars continue to struggle to get around him, I wonder if Brobst kind of holding up these cars with the aero that these these Gen 4 cars always seem to have around Indy. Dicer is taking a peek to the inside, trying to find himself some clear air, but right now it's not happening. We've got 6 cars in about 0.6 of a second here. So we got our first driver down pit road. That's Derek Fike. Nick Dicer had a chance there, but he got loose out of the corner and lost a bunch of time.
Yeah, there was even a little bit of contact there as Dicer was looking to make that move around Brobst. Certainly one of these deals where I think you're hitting the nail on the head with the arrow, and it's getting to a point now where guys are getting impatient. You're going to watch them try to make some big runs. We've seen them really loose out of here the last couple of laps, a little bit better, tighter this time around, but that last time Dicer poked his nose around, he almost made a little bit of a brush there with the rear bumper of the 5. And it doesn't take much here to get these things slipping and sliding either when they do make contact, because of just how much you chewing that tire up, and tough to save once it gets out and away from you. Ooh, big slide.
Oh, there
big
he
slide.
goes. Like you said, tough to save there. He managed to gather it back up and keep it out of the wall. But Nick Dicer is now going to have that advantage down to the inside. He'll grab the spot. Samuel Stoner got his way around Matt Kuntz right behind these cars, and now he will get around the 5 here. So one big slip up there for Robert Brobst, and he's going to go from 13th all the way back to 15th. Nick Dicer and Samuel Stoner finding their way through. It might not be long before Matt Kuntz is able to try something as well, as Brobst is actually going to get a look to the inside here of Stoner. Little bit better run out of the corner, and he'll have the draft. We'll see what he can do down towards turn 3.
Oh, man, I mean, this is a wild sequence of events here. These guys are not done with each other yet. Brobst doesn't want to give that spot up even after that big slipping and sliding that he did this part of the track last lap. He is absolutely putting pressure on Sam Stoner here. How long do you go? How far do you push? How hard do you drive it until you start thinking about tires? We saw Fike down there on pit road. These guys all much, much tighter as these battles continue. Who's that popping out of line? That's the 13 of Matt Kuntz now looking to make a move on Brobst, as he is absolutely just losing control of that car. The speed really coming out of it. The 32 now as well. That's Sean Johnson getting around Robert Brobst. But you could have thrown a blanket over those 3 there for a second. The 00, the 65, and the 5. But now, unfortunate for Robert Brobst here, he's moving backwards. But might be time to start thinking about tires.
Yeah, not super out of the ordinary for Robert Brobst. He's usually one of the first cars that we see start to struggle on tires. And as a result, he's usually one of the first cars on pit road when the pit cycle begins. That 5 car loves to push it really hard in the opening stint and then try the undercut. Given how he's driving right now, I would not be surprised if he does that again here tonight, as Devin Jack is trying to close up on Patrick Colby here. in the battle for P11. Jack has been stuck behind this 87 car for what feels like most of the race, but he's been a little bit quicker these last few laps, slowly trying to find his way back to that 87, although a bad 1 and 2 is going to really hurt his ability to do that here.
Yeah, any little bit of slipping and sliding is going to absolutely be a humongous detriment to what you're trying to do and the exiting of the set of corners that you're in and trying to get that run back down the front of the backstretch. So that's really where a lot of the speed is gained and lost, but see if Devin Jack can do something here. As go back to Kuntz and Sam Stoner. See Robert Brobst still going the wrong way there. He's got Brian Brobst all over his rear bumper.
That he does. The 11 is trying to get that move done, and Brobst stepped out big time down there into the corner. He's still loose. He can't track that thing down to the bottom, and the 11 of Brian Brobst will get around him quite easily here for P17. I do not think it'll be very long here as we come up on the halfway point of this race until we see Robert Brobst bring that car down pit road. I wonder if there's just a fuel mark that 5 is trying to hit before he brings it down here to start the pit cycle. Jacob Phillips in the 56 is closing up to that car as well here, so could be back in P19 in a hurry. Devin Jack side by side with Patrick Colby down into the corner. There's contact between the two cars, but both of them keep it straight, and Patrick Colby ends up with the advantage. He'll get to 11th. Devin Jack gonna have to re-rack here if he wants to make this move.
Yeah, Patrick Colby is under fire here, and he knows that Devin Jack absolutely had a fantastic chance to cut down to the bottom there and get around him, but Patrick Colby not letting it happen. He fought him off hard there to the point of a little bit of contact. Just goes to show how much every little piece of real estate here at Indy means. Trying to get that little bit of an edge over your competitor can pay dividends if this runs long, which we see a lot of long run racing here in this league. These guys tend to run each other pretty clean and pretty green most of these nights. So it'll be interesting to see how that'll affect, just how aggressive drivers want to be when they do get a chance and how drivers will approach their strategies moving forward.
Jacob Phillips still trying to get around Robert Brobst here as that 5 has continued to slip and slide around these corners. He's kept it glued to the bumper of that 5 car pretty quickly. Coming up on the halfway point of this race, we're on 28 out of 60 right now. Clean and green the whole way through so far. Aaron Smith took the lead on lap 1 from your pole sitter Chris Smith and has held it ever since. Justin Wilson sits 3rd, Sobzak 4th, Josh Ward P5 at the moment as we make our way on to lap 29 here at the Brickyard. Pit stops are going to be coming up before too long.
Yeah, it's interesting to see who leads these guys down pit road as we see Robert Brobst again kind of under fire here. That's the 56 of Jacob Phillips making that move around him there on the inside. But Robert Brobst, you'd imagine, has to be waiting for a fuel mark or some type of... as there's some really loose there for Jacob Phillips there on the exit. Gonna be interesting to see who starts the trend, who brings these guys, into pit road, as everyone's situation's different, but I think we're starting to really see it here toward the rear of the field for guys who've used their stuff up. Hey, it won't be long until everybody looks like they're dirt track and Tokyo drifting around here at Indianapolis, as lo and behold, Sam Stoner comes down to get service.
Comes down just shy of halfway here on lap 29 out of 60 for that 65 car. This time around, we'll be halfway, and I think we'll see quite a few more cars here start to come down, splitting this race and splitting this pit cycle in half. Right now, Aaron Smith is getting ready to cross pit road, so this is going to start the barrage of cars making their way around. Chris Pierce signaling over the radio that he's about to come in. Paul Thomas and Steve Vest are making their way down, and here comes everybody. Chris Smith, Scotty Sobzak spins it into the pit wall. But Josh Ward, Deweese, Wright Jones, Pienta, Johnny Rapp, everybody except for Aaron Smith is into the pits here.
Scotty Sobczak almost just ended his night here. He was so close to nosing into that barrier at the entry to pit road. I mean, looked like he was going to take some evasive action and pull back out onto the front stretch, but able to squeak back in amongst his competitors there. But that was a very tense moment there for the 81 as he does make his way to pit road. But like we said, pit road mistakes was one of the keys to the race here tonight. And while the crews are all automated, the drivers are still out there trying to make their way down pit road and get on and off in as quick a time as possible. Talked about the exit here, but the entry was the issue for Scotty Sobczak. But all is fair. Everything's clean for him as he's going to come back out with the pack here. We're on board with Chris Smith. Get these guys back up to speed.
Aaron Smith is just pit, by the way. Aaron Smith, your leader, has come into the pits. And coming in one lap later, I wonder if Chris Smith is going to have the advantage of an undercut here to take the lead away from that 70 car. See him come in for his service here. He's got right sides on the car. They're doing the left side right now. Jay Heishman, the only other car to stay out, is going to come in the 06. And we'll see where the 70 blends back into traffic. Was a slightly quicker run down pit road in comparison to the 28 of Chris Smith. He's 3 seconds up in the 70. Where will he blend out? Aaron Smith is going to go back on the apron here through turns 1 and 2. He'll blend up onto the racetrack here. He's still got a 1.5 second gap over Chris Smith. This will stabilize once Aaron Smith gets down to turn 3, but it looks like he is going to come out with a much bigger lead than what he went in with. Heading into turn 3, 1 second is the gap between Aaron and Chris Smith for the lead of the race.
Yeah, an interesting strategy by Aaron Smith to stay out that extra lap. But not hurting him here as he's got a ton of speed, fresh tires. Everybody's still one by one, though. We'll see the battle start to pick up here if we have some stragglers who haven't yet come to pit road. I think most have, though. So we're kind of back to business here halfway through, just over halfway through. It's going to take a lot for Chris Smith to go ahead and chase down that leader. But Devin Jack also, or I'm sorry, that's not Devin Jack. That's Chris Smith. My eyes don't work right. It's going to take a lot for these leaders to chase each other down here and make a move as VK looks to the outside here. Ooh. A little bit of contact there.
It's not been a great race for Jay Heishman, excuse me, tonight. Sits 23rd in the 06 car. Derek Vike 24th in the 67. Heishman, he's run a clean race. He's run a lot of clean races this season. We mentioned it earlier. He has the least incident points out of anyone who's full-time in this series. But unfortunately, that's not really translating to results tonight as that car sits in a distant P23. He's still 3 seconds behind P22, Zachary Mitchell. It wasn't a good pit stop there for Heishman. It wasn't a good run even before the pit stop for him. He'll look to be a little more steady and consistent here in the second half of the race and find his way back up to the front of the field. So we see some cars getting around the lap number 60 car of Steve Vest. Pretty decent damage on that 60. He's sitting 1 lap down and making his way through the traffic.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch these guys make their move around the 60 car of Steve Vest, as Vest is going to get a little bit of damage. He got a little bit of a shot there coming off of turn 4. Almost looked like he was headed for pit road as these drivers try to make their way around. You holding up a few, maybe showing their displeasure. Not quite sure. Josh Ward was trying to make that pass happen as he's got Braxton Deweese in hot pursuit now as he got a little bit slowed up by the lap car.
Look at how low Deweese is running there through turn 2. He had those left side tires all the way on the apron there. Just like we saw Chris Smith doing earlier when he was trying to pursue Aaron Smith. He is going all the way down under that white line, trying to use anything that's paved to get him any advantage he can on this 92 car. You see him once again.
Yeah.
straight down on that apron, almost on the grass for Braxton Deweese, who seems to have a car and a driving strategy that's much more suited for the short run right now as he makes his way up to the 92.
It's definitely an opportunity here now after this pit cycle to adapt and try to stretch out the run. We know Braxton Deweese has that short run speed, as you mentioned. I love seeing him get down there way deep on the apron. That's to me the way to get around here if you can do it consistently and not burn your stuff up there. Maybe not the exit he was looking for off there of turn number 2, but he's going to do his best here to make a run back up to that 92 car, Josh Ward. But he's going to have to keep his eyes open, eyes in the back of his head, as Scotty Sobczak is sitting back there running a race pretty strong all on his own as he's looking to take a little piece out of the time clock here as he rolls on up to the 8 car.
Aaron Smith putting on another show up here at the front of the field. He's known for these kind of dominating wins here in the Stand Up Fight Series. Led 70% of the race when he went pole to checkered in the second race of the season at Atlanta. Led 75% of the race when he went pole to checkered last week at Charlotte. This would be his 3rd win in 5 races if he's able to hold on over Chris Smith. And so far, didn't get the pole, but he's led every single lap tonight as he has a bit of a scary moment there with a lap car that is Paul Thomas slamming the fence right in front of him. But Aaron Smith makes it out clean here, and he is in hot pursuit of his 3rd win on the season if he can stay in front of Chris Smith.
Yeah, he's absolutely putting the belt to the field here tonight. The only way I can see him having his run disrupted here is if we do end up with a caution and we see some guys getting a little sideways, a little squirrely, a little bit of these scary moments, mostly lap cars that are leaders are trying to move around. But I mean, you talk about getting on the apron. You see Aaron Smith right there through the middle of the entering the
caution is out. It is Evan Pienta around in the corner.
Sorry. Just as we were talking about it, Evan Pienta brings out the yellow. It's got a pretty good,
on his own
pretty
here.
good lump.
Just got loose out of 2. Went hard into that inside wall, and that's going to be major, maybe terminal damage to that 55 car. We'll get a replay here on Slingshot TV, and you'll see it for the 55 here in the Brickyard 150 presented by Evan Pienta Designs. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to go the way Evan Pienta would want after this. He just gets way bent out of shape off the corner, and I mean, once it goes that far around, there is absolutely no saving it. Evan Pienta loops it straight into the inside wall and blows off the front bumper of that car.
Oh, yeah, he just noses it into the inside wall. Looked like he might have had a chance to save it there as he was sliding through, but like you said, once it gets that sideways, it is not an easy thing as you get on board with him here. A scary moment. Car just kicks out from around, and you're turning right to go left, and not ideal as he takes a knock, and we'll see what the damage is like for the 55.
We have our first DNF of the race. It is not related to that Pienta crash. Ryan Hinkle has closed out of the session here, and he will be done for the night behind the wheel of that 21 car. As we head under the pace car now, we'll see if these drivers come down here, maybe play a bit of tire strategy at this point in the race. I wouldn't be surprised to see these drivers come down and put 4 tires on it. It's only been 10 laps since the last stop, but you've got 20 to go to the end of the race, and you have a set left in the tank. I think if you're someone who's maybe a little further back in the field right now, I'm talking a Devin Jack in 11th, a Matt Kuntz in 16th, drivers who are having bad days despite being pretty high up in the points. This could be a chance for you to get off strategy, come down and put 4 tires on it. We'll see what the field does. And we are going to have, it looks like, some split decisions here because Aaron Smith is going to fake him out. Chris Smith will go with him, and we're going to have a whole bunch of cars who are going to come down anyway. Josh Ward is into the pit, Scotty Sobczak, Braxton Deweese, Rye Jones, Patrick Colby, Evan Pienta, Brian Brobst, Robert Brobst, Leach, Danforth, Mitchell, Heischman, and Steve Vest are all going to come down. But you've got about 10 cars here who have opted to stay out, with both Smiths Justin Wilson, Chris Pierce, Johnny Rapp, Devin Jack, Samuel Stoner, Nick Dicer, Matt Kuntz, Jacob Phillips, and Sean Johnson, all keeping it on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, that was wild to see the shimmy shake, the big fake there by the leader. It is definitely one of these situations where you can test your fate and stay out, but these drivers on these newer tires, if they can get rolling here the way they need to, they'll have a little bit of an advantage.
We've got some games being played among the cars who pit 2 tires for the 91 of Rye Jones, and he is the first car out of the pits. Josh Ward comes out second on 4 with a better pit stop and a better time down pit road than with Braxton DeWeese, who came out third. Jay Leach in the 2, fuel only on that car. Interesting call. I believe he was the only car who took a fuel only strategy, and that 2 car will come out 15th.
A lot of different strategy for a lot of different types of racing here at Indy tonight. Guys wanting to make up some track position. We've seen how this racing's been. If you can continue to stay consistent and not get yourself loose and not make mistakes, that's going to be what's going to pay dividends on the long run. We've had a lot of long run racing here so far tonight, so we'll see what happens.
We will see how it goes here tonight as we take lap 41 out of 60 here, over 2/3 of the way home in the Brickyard 150, presented by Evan Pienta Designs this time around. See if Evan Pienta makes it out of the pits. Yes, he will. That 55 car will get out of the pits before the field comes around, but I think he's still going to have a little bit of damage on that 55 machine that could hurt him here and could prevent him from making a run back up through the field in the later stages of this race.
I don't know about you, but I am sure curious to see how all these varying strategies look now that they're going to get back under green and out here on track. It's one where you roll the dice. What do you think?
It's only a 10-lap difference here between your top 11 cars and the drivers behind them. And with the lower track temperature tonight, that really has only dropped over the course of the race, as we sit at about 6 p.m. sim time right now. We started around 85 on the track temp, down to 80. That's going to make these tires for the drivers who stayed out last even longer than these drivers on the new tires. I think if we go 20 laps or whatever green here to the finish, you could see some of those guys like Rye Jones, Josh Ward, Braxton DeWeese make good on this strategy and fight their way up through the field. But on the contrast, if we get some quick cautions here that kind of prevent these drivers from getting these tires rolling, that add some heat cycles onto the tires, some stop and go to the cars who just pit, it could really eat up the tires there for those drivers, and it could prevent them from getting the run that they need to pass these cars up front. I think it's all going to come down to if this race runs green and gives those drivers on 4 tires enough time to get up through the field and catch and pass all of these cars who have opted to stay out. Pace car pulls in. It's Aaron and Chris Smith on the front row. Aaron Smith is going to be your control car. He'll take us down into the restart zone. And we're green once again at the Brickyard.
You see that big jump that Aaron Smith gets on the bottom line there, and he is out and in control again. As we get back rolling here, green. Looks like Justin Wilson going to make that quick pass around the 28 of Chris Smith there at the front as well. Better get it figured out here in a hurry, because while they're figuring it out, Aaron Smith is...
Oh, Rye Jones around. Hard hit to the inside wall. No caution as a result of that, but that is heavy, heavy damage to the 91 car, and I think he might have to tow it back. He will. That car is done for. One of your points leaders wrecked here after contact with Sean Johnson in the 32, who was one of the drivers on old tires and just got loose out of the corner and tagged that 91. Huge hit.
That's just the result of all these different strategies out there on the track. You see Rye Jones obviously with the faster car, but trying to make it work around some slower traffic and gets tagged. That front end is obliterated. So unfortunate for Rye Jones. Going to have some major point implications, but that was a big hit.
Yeah, and he's quit out of the session. He will be done for the night as Braxton DeWeese slides his way up around Jay Leach now. Third of the cars on fresh tires. 10th place, Josh Ward is the first car on fresh rubber. Scotty Sobczak in the 81, also on those newer tires. Jay Leach all the way up on the road. This is a car who took fuel only, so he's kind of in his own weird little strategy bubble right here, along with Sean Johnson, who stayed out as they tried to navigate these cars behind him and this big gaggle of cars back here trying to make something happen.
It'd be interesting to see when the 2 and the 32 get side by side here. There are cars behind them that are quite a bit quicker. How that all plays in here as Pienta and Phillips then now side by side racing. Pienta had a little bit of damage earlier after he slid it off of turn 2 and nosed into the wall. Looks like he's got that damage pretty wrapped up, but he makes that move. And lo and behold, it's Robert Bropst in the 5 making another strong run. He's going to get the spot. Almost a little bit of contact there with Jacob Phillips entering turn 3. That was a tight situation as Phillips looking to hang on to every inch of this track that he can. He knows that these guys are breathing down his neck. James Danforth with a big wiggle there as he had some pressure from Brian Bropst. I know we're talking about cars that are running, back 15th through 20th here, but my goodness, some exciting racing for us to watch up here as they look to make their way around lap number 45 of 60.
We got a couple cars in the wall back there as well. I believe that is going to be it's more than one driver who's going to lose a couple spots there after a slap to the outside wall. So I think we've got it all a little bit single-filed here with the exception of Derek Fike and James Danforth, who are racing for P20 at the moment. Fike is going to have that advantage into the corner. He'll slide it up the road a little bit, and that might be what Danforth needs to get around. Not quite. They'll stay even into 3 and 4, and it looks like Danforth will get clear this time of the 67. And he has P20 as Fike is loose. Josh Ward and Scotty Sobczak moving back up through the field right now. Scotty Sobczak's just taking the spot away from Josh Ward. That's got him up to P9. He, Ward, and Braxton DeWeese are all moving up through the field. They just passed another car on that staying out strategy of Nick Dicer in the Taylor Swift Life of a Showgirl car. So bad news for the Swifties. She's finally fallen out of the top 10. As Josh Ward is still trying to get back around Scotty Sobczak, but we'll see if that 81 ultimately has more speed and is able to pursue Matt Kuntz, Devin Jack, and these cars who stayed out.
Yeah, not quite the showgirl performance for the 00 and that Taylor Swift machine. Anyway, always some unique schemes and personalities on display here throughout the field. As everybody kind of lining themselves up one by one, everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's. We've got 49 looking to the inside now a little bit. That's Devin Jack of Samuel Stoner. We talked a little bit earlier about Devin Jack and how maybe the speed just wasn't there. It's a night where he comes into this second overall in the points. Devin Jack now side by side with Sam Stoner, going to look to make this move happen here through turns 3 and 4, probably off the run here as he's going to get himself clear. It was tight in the middle of the corner, but gets the job done. Sam Stoner's going to have to be on his toes here because he's got a rear view mirror full of the next couple of cars looking to make the same pass that we just watched Devin Jack complete.
If Devin Jack brings it home in the top 10, I think the strategy call will ultimately be a good one here for him as Scotty Sobczak has the inside on Matt Kuntz. Sobczak, first car on 4 tires, trying to pull his way up into 8th. And he might be able to get clear out of 2 here. Let's see. Yes, he will. Scotty Sobczak into P8, Matt Kuntz back to 9th. And now Josh Ward will slide to the inside of that 13 car here as we work our way down the back straightaway. Matt Kuntz, not a good entry into the corner for him. Ward going to try to get clear Kuntz is loose. Ward will get the spot, and he'll also lose out to Braxton Deweese here. That 13 flies behind all 3 cars in a hurry. You mentioned the different personalities here. I remember Rye Jones a little bit ago was getting some flack for being a big fan of the movie K-Pop Demon Hunters, and I had to come to his defense on that one. I was not having that.
I heard it's got a great soundtrack. That's all I know.
Good movie, great soundtrack. That's still in the top 10, unlike Taylor Swift.
Speaking of top 10, honestly, Aaron Smith, Justin Wilson, Chris Smith, Johnny Rapp, Chris Pierce, Devin Jack in 6th, Samuel Stoner, Scotty Sobczak, Josh Ward, and Braxton Deweese wrap up the top 10 in running order right now. I think it's finally started to calm down here a little bit. Some of these differing pit strategies, some of these cars have started to find a little bit of a place. We just saw Matt Kuntz go for quite a slip and slide. Same with Braxton Deweese as well. Kuntz just happened to catch a little bit of the wall there. Nothing too severe, but everybody pushing the pace, pushing the tempo here. Oh, Sam Stoner dirt tracking it a little bit. He's going to have the 92 of Josh Ward now on his inside. Ward going to get there. Oh, man, that's tight as Stoner had to go all the way up to the wall there. Ward going to dive down the bottom of the backstretch, try to make up as much time as he can, set himself up here for the entry of 3. He's going to have the pass made and then some. Braxton Deweese, again, looking to follow suit right in the footsteps of Josh Ward to try to make that move around Stoner. Stoner just got loose, tagged a little bit of the wall last time around going through turns 1 and 2, and you see that little bit of a misstep, what that can cost you, especially in a field as hungry as we have here tonight for points at Indianapolis.
What I'm seeing from these cars on 4 fresh tires on that last pit stop is that they're quick. They're certainly quicker than the cars in front of them, but they're not really quick enough to where they can get back up to the front of the field. Scotty Sobczak sits 7th. He's chasing down Devin Jack for that spot as Braxton Deweese tries to make the move around Samuel Stoner here, and it looks like he'll be able to clear as we start to head down into turn 3. See what he can do. Yep, the 8 is clear for P9. Sobczak's right up to the bumper of Devin Jack here for P6 as this battle goes on. 81 is going to try to find his way back up to the field, but he's still 5.2 seconds behind Aaron Smith, so even if he gets around Devin Jack, it's another 1.5 seconds until he can chase down Chris Pierce. It's just so much time between these cars that I don't think these drivers are going to be able to get up to the spots where they were racing at before, especially for a car like Deweese, who is running up 3rd or 4th. He's still only the 3rd car on this tire run, and he's got a ton of them up in front of him. Scotty Sobczak, contact with Devin Jack out of the corner. He's got more momentum, so Scotty Sobczak might be able to get clear here, but I don't think Devin Jack is going to be too happy with that one, and he'll likely fight back into turn 3, staying on the outside, but Sobczak gets a good run and gets clear.
Yeah, that was an intense battle there. A move by Sobczak, I think, that he had to make. Just used up all the track, and 8 wheels are better than 4, I guess, and leaned on him just a little bit to make that move happen. As now he's looking at Josh Ward coming behind him. Yeah, I think really the only way that these guys are all going to get really back up close to one another and get into a position to battle for this lead is their best chance was with Rye Jones and the spin that he had. Didn't bring out a caution. He wrecked down onto the apron, so no harm, no foul, but it's definitely one where, as you saw Ward there make the move on Devin Jack. Definitely situations happening, though, around the track that some drivers wish a yellow would come out. So it'll be interesting to see with just 7 to go. We're coming into the end. It's go time for these drivers here, and that's when we start to see things happen. As the 55, Evan Pienta grabs a little bit of the wall there, a little bit of dust off the right rear, but he'll continue on. It'll be interesting. How hard are we going to see drivers push to make up 1 or 2 spots toward the end of this one?
Well, Nick Dicer back there in the 00 is one of those cars on the older tires, along with the 13 of Matt Kuntz, which is going to hurt them because these drivers who they're racing with, like Pienta and Robert Brobst, are on those newer tires by about 10 laps. And since we've gone green, they've had the chance to kind of extend that run out and really try to gain some time and make some moves on these cars. Dicer in particular in that 0-0 is really not having a good time right now as Pienta sneaks it to the inside of Kuntz. Big move there for the 55 as he weasels his way in off the corner. And he'll have the momentum through 3 and 4. Great pass there for Evan Pienta.
Yeah, that looked really great as Pienta just set that one up just as perfectly as you could. Obviously had a better run of speed there. Just was able to glue it down lower than Kuntz could. And just what a great pass by Evan Pienta to get that position back. He's going to be running in 12th here now, looking to chase down the 87 of Patrick Colby in the late stages here, 5 to go. But good racing happening. It's just happening in different parts of the track than what we normally expect. The leader's way out and away, just under a second and a half from separating Aaron Smith and Justin Wilson. But we'll continue to monitor everything around the track as we've got the 11 and the 2 going side by side. That's Brian Brobst and Jay Leach. Lead, a little bit of a slider there, rising back up. I don't think Brobst's going to have the momentum to get to him. He looked to dive down onto the bottom to try to set up another pass to get back to Jay Leach, but I think that's going to do more damage than good now as Jacob Phillips will have a chance to. Oh, that's a big hit into the wall too for the 11 of Brian Brobst on that right front. Wouldn't be surprised if he's got some lingering damage after a hit like that. See Jacob Phillips just backing off there just a little bit for his own safety, I think, as the 11's looking to just gather it up and get back rolling.
Braxton DeWeese in the 8 trying to find his way around the 49 car of Devin Jack. He's slowly closing that gap up, trying to get his way up to P8, but either way, it is not going to be where he was before the strategy call to come down pit road. He was up in the top 5 for much of this race after starting up on the second row, and he's still not really going to get further up than 8th as we're battling back here as well for position. This thing, we'll figure out who this is right here. The light's blinding me. It's Derek Fike in the 67 going at it with James Danforth in the 88. Danforth had that spot earlier, but Fike is going to be able to get it back here and take P20 behind the wheel of that car. Scotty Sobczak trying to re-enter the top 5 at the moment. He currently sits in P6 in that 81 car. Chris Pierce, one of the drivers on that staying out strategy that did a great job of really holding on to his position afterwards, is now under threat from that 81 car as we take 3 to go here at the Brickyard.
Yeah, 3 laps to make it or break it here for these drivers. Aaron Smith, Justin Wilson, Chris Smith, kind of in a league of their own, way out and ahead of the field, I think, here as I mean, Aaron Smith just walks away from the field on these restarts here tonight. It's unbelievable just to see how he's able to not just have speed, but have speed consistently, put himself in positions to win and win a lot. If this result holds, what did we say? 3 of the last 5 trips to victory lane will be Aaron. If in the 3 of the last 5 for Aaron Smith, this would be 4.
We're at 2 laps to go here as Aaron Smith continues to try to bring it home. Scotty Sobczak gets the move as Chris Pierce hits the fence. Keeps it straight there, but he will slide behind the 92 of Josh Ward, who will pull himself up to P6. And with only a lap and a half to go, Aaron Smith looks like he's going to bring it home for his 3rd win of the season.
Chris Pierce with a wallop there on that right side going through there. That car cannot be driving comfortably for him. But as you said, I couldn't get the math right. It's my first day counting on my fingers, I guess. Aaron Smith putting up big numbers himself. As he comes around, he'll take the white flag. Final lap here at the Brickyard, 150.4. presented by Pienta Designs.
He'll make his way through 1 and 2 with a 2.5 second lead over the 58 car at Justin Wilson. And there is nobody who's going to be able to stop him now. Leading every single lap tonight is that 70 car in dominating fashion. Great speed on the short run, great speed on the long run, did absolutely everything he needed to do. And it's going to be just a corner more for the 70 of Aaron Smith, and he will get to bring it home. He's going to lead every single lap for the second race in a row for the third time this season. Aaron Smith gets the win, and this time he'll get to kiss the bricks.
Can't think of a more dominating way to get around the Brickyard than the way Aaron Smith was able to get it done here tonight. Continuing to show why he is the points leader in the class of the field. Aaron Smith just has something these other guys don't, and he's going to continue to be a dominant force here as we continue the season.
Huge win there for Aaron Smith. Justin Wilson brings it home P2 tonight. Chris Smith in third, Johnny Rapp fourth, Scotty Sobzak fifth, Josh Ward, Chris Pierce, Devin Jack, Braxton Deweese, and Samuel Stoner, your top 5. Or top 10, excuse me.
Yeah, we got Patrick Colby, Matt Kuntz, Evan Pienta, Nick Dykes, Robert Brobst in that 5 car brings it home 15th. Robert through the field, up and back, really pushing it tonight. Sean Johnson in the 32 finishes 16th. Brian Brobst in 17th. Jacob Phillips in 18th. Jay Leach at 19th. And Derek VK rounds out the top 20.
And back from there, 21st is James Danforth, Jay Heichman, Paul Thomas, Zachary Mitchell, Steve Vest, Rye Jones, and Ryan Hinkle, your non-finishers tonight, as Aaron Smith gets to burn it down at the Brickyard. We'll send you to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have interviews with our top 3 drivers. Stay tuned.
Ready, set, let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I've been on the way up cause I know I'm popping. Hits, no misses. Clean up like the dishes. Ain't no point telling me to stop cause I won't listen. Every level got a new devil. I'ma give him hell cause I don't know better. I'm a born winner. I'm going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to make me ever give up. Let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm getting close. I can taste it. I'm going up like a spaceship. I'm shaking the ground. I'm making it loud. I go to work when nobody's around. It's time to get it. It's time to go. It's time to shine. It's my time to blow.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wonder why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
Welcome back here to the Brickyard 150 presented by Evan Pienta Designs in the Stand Up Fight Invitational Series. We've got our top 3 ready to be interviewed, and we will start with our race winner tonight, the 70 of Aaron Smith. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm feeling pretty good tonight. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good. Led every lap tonight to your 3rd straight win. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good. I missed out on the pole, so it's not a perfect night, but we took it out of turn 2 and didn't look back. Well, that'd be a lie. I looked back quite a few times with Chris sitting behind me there over that first run, but I wanted to get that extra lap of fuel saved in case we might have had a caution, or maybe if we didn't have a caution, I'd be able to overcut everybody, and fortunately I did. We got that caution halfway through the final run and got the restart and rode away with it.
Yeah, was there any stress there over the first half of the run that Chris might be able to pass you, or did you think you could hold him off?
I think I had it covered. I mean, that's certainly no slight to his ability. Anyone in the top 5 could have done what I did if they just had the track position at the start, because the tires were like rocks this week. The setup was great, but it was too good. Like, you could push it as hard as you wanted, as long as you were keeping it below that white line in the corners. You could drive as hard as you wanted and not burn the right sides off that badly. I think they were about 82-73 after the first run, and you couldn't really tell. I was only half a second off my best lap of the race, so it's something to look into in these next few oval races. But it sounds like we have a road course next week.
Now we do Road America. Are you looking forward to that one?
Oh yeah. I love my road courses. Hopefully we'll be able to mimic tonight's performance there.
All right, anyone you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at the Slingshot Racing League for putting this on, all the folks in supporting the championship, y'all for broadcasting, all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it on the road course next week.
All right, congrats, Aaron Smith, on your 3rd win of the season.
10-4, thank you.
We're now going to send it over to Sal, who is going to be standing by with our 2nd place finisher, Justin Wilson.
Hey, man, what's
Justin,
up?
Justin, how's it going? Car's all good. Car looked good out there tonight. I mean, you were able to make up some spots, bring it home P2. What was it like running that first run, and what did you learn as the race went on to really kind of leapfrog and get your way into that position? Because it seemed like track position was king here tonight.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't pass at all. I passed 2 cars, and both of them were on the initial start before turn 1. So after that, you're pretty much locked into your spot unless you make a mistake. So, all I was hoping for was Aaron to make a mistake, but we all know that don't happen.
Aaron led a lot of laps here tonight. He is not one that gets caught out very often, but you certainly put yourself in a position to capitalize if he did. We noticed drivers really going down to the bottom of the track there to run that line really low. Is that something that worked for you with the setup here, with the tire here? What were you feeling inside of the car as the run went on?
Yeah, as the run went on, it just depended on how you were driving it. I was one of those ones that hugged the grass. But the biggest thing was to, taking care of that rear tire on exit, because at the end of the run, if you didn't, you were getting a little loose off the corner. But it didn't really matter whether you were loose or not, because you could just drive that car, but you would still hit the exact same lap time no matter what. The setup was just a phenomenal setup that we ran tonight. You couldn't have probably made that any better to run like the exact same lap throughout the entire run. So yeah, it came down to whoever just didn't make a mistake, and I feel like we did good. I mean, we didn't make a mistake tonight, so 2nd place is pretty good.
Pretty good indeed. Anybody out there you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Aaron for kicking our rear ends again. I know he's going to do it next week, so all I can do is hope for Talladega to do me some justice, because I don't think I'm going to come close to winning anything else this season. So, but take my 2nd place and be happy about it. I thank you guys for putting the show on, and Randy Bechtel for race control, Johnny Rapp, Ryan Jones, Jacob Phillips, and all the group that we race with together. So, yeah, man.
2nd place, nothing to be sad about, I'll tell you what, but we'll see what happens next couple weeks here. P2 for Justin Wilson here tonight.
We're going to take it back over now, and we will bring into the booth here in just a second our 3rd place finisher for tonight's race, the 28 of Chris Smith. Chris, you got me.
I got you.
All right, 3rd place tonight. You were running up front for a while, but you couldn't bring it home in P1. How's it feel?
Yeah, I'm all right with that. I think that we were, we probably finished about where we deserved to finish tonight, and that's all you can ask for. It was great to get the pole and get a bonus point there for that, and Aaron kind of got me on the start there, and because that guy's pretty good, which I know y'all are seeing week in and week out, and I just kind of looked at his rear bumper for the rest of the race until that late race restart, and I'm happy with it though. That's about where we deserve to finish on speed.
Did you think you had anything for Aaron over the first half of that run, or were you just trying to hang on behind him?
I was just hanging on. I mean, when you get here, dirty air is, a problem just about any, big track that you go to, but especially here with these flat corners. And I was trying to pace myself off of him in that first run, and he started to open it up on me a little bit, and he went an extra lap on fuel because he was backing the corner up, and that was my only chance to really run with him, was for him to back the corner up and just kind of take it easy on fuel. So I had to keep on running just to maintain my position, my track position, try to stay close to him and at least keep him honest.
All right, anyone you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for all your hard work, and everybody at Slingshot TV for their hard work every single week, racing 3 nights a week here on the channel. And you guys are doing an awesome job every single Wednesday night. I want to give a shout out to my family at home if they're watching, all the league admins for their hard work, Johnny, Robert, Scotty, Dade, everybody, Randy for doing an awesome job with race control and with this setup. It was definitely better. It was a lot more fun to worry about managing the right rear than worrying about managing the right front like we typically do here at Indy. So kudos to him for the setup. All the league sponsors, Stand Up Fight Series, UD Awards, Evan P and Designs, RB Designs, like everybody who supports it, and all these drivers for an awesome job here tonight.
All right, congrats on P3, Chris Smith.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
That'll be the end of our broadcast here tonight, but next week we're going to go at Road America style. How you feeling about that one?
Road America is one that, I'll be honest, I haven't had a ton of time to watch a lot of races. I'll have to go home, do the homework, and try to understand exactly how these drivers are going to have to approach Road America. It's one that, we don't run so often in a lot of leagues, and in reality itself in the NASCAR world and the National Touring Series. So heard Aaron Smith saying he likes to run there. So it's, we'll see. A little bit of a sneak preview maybe for Road America next week. But we've got a great stretch of races coming up. So I'm excited, honestly. Road America, Watkins Glen, we've got Talladega still up on the schedule here. It's going to be a great stretch of racing here in this league.
That'll be all here tonight on Slingshot Racing Media. If you enjoyed our broadcast, be sure to like and subscribe so you get notified when we do Road America next week. For everybody at the Slingshot Racing League and for Sal and Kobe up in the booth with me, thank you so much for watching and have a great night.
Fellas, go have a good day today. Like I said, load all the fans. Thank you guys for coming out here. We got a great crowd today. Everybody listen at home.
If you push, I'm defiant.
Everybody enjoy
Just
the
try
race.
it. It is bound to get violent when you walk this way.
Do it. All 4 tires face the same direction at the end of this thing. Ready? Green, 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 green.
Look at this beautiful mess I've made.
Good, baby. Put the pressure on that little. You know what? You get it. Crash behind you. Just past halfway, bud. Just past halfway. A lot of racing to go. Take care of your stuff.
I won't stop until you're down in your grave. With the buckle of your fist to keep you
That car up there is your next spot. Hit him. Yeah, man, let him come to you. Don't push him. White flag, nice and smooth. Checker flag.